So I know it has started. Okay, yesterday we talked about the generic equation. Let's write it up here at the top. Y equals A sine B x minus h plus k. That was our generic equation yesterday. We talked about all those letters mean. What did we say the A meant?
Amplitude.
Amplitude. And what did we say amplitude could never ever be?
Negative.
Negative. Very good. What did we say the B represented?
Frequency.
Frequency. And frequency is how many of those little curves fit between 0 and 2 pi?
2 pi.
So, well, how many of them fit between 0 and 2 pi? What did we say the H was?
It's a horizontal.
The horizontal phase shift. Called the phase shift when you get to your test. If there's a minus in there, which way did we shift? Right. And if there is a plus in there, which way did we shift? Left. What does the K do?
Vertical shift up and down.
Vertical shift up and down. It moves your axis of wave. It moves the axis of what? Wave. The only letter that's not in this equation that we need is the letter T. What did T stand for yesterday?
Period.
Period, which is time. Very good. So we had a formula for it, and we know that T, with the time, or the period, whichever one you want to call it, is equal to 2 pi divided by the B. We also said that if they don't give me the B, then I have a formula for that. And we said the formula for frequency is 2 pi divided by T. So they're going to have to give me one of them. They're going to have to give me the B or the T. And I can use the formula to find the one I don't have. Are we good with that? All right. So we're going to do a couple from this question and answer section to make sure you understand what they want. So let's look at number 4. So number 4 says the function y equals a sine bx, where a is greater than 0, has an amplitude of 3. What letter is amplitude? A. So let's go put an A right there. And it has a period of 2. What letter do I use for period? T, for time, right? And then the question they asked me is, what is A? Well, that's not hard. What's A? 3. Then they asked me what B is. Is B 2? No. What do I have to do to find B?
2 pi divided by 2.
Very good. 2 pi divided by 2, because it's supposed to be my period. So what is 2 pi divided by 2? Pi. So my frequency is pi and my amplitude is 3. What questions can I answer? All right, let's go look at 5. 5 says the function y equals 3 cosine 6x has an amplitude of blank and a period of blank.
3.
The amplitude's what? 3. Very good, because your amplitude is first. Is the period in this equation? No. What letter do I need in this equation in order to get it?
B.
Nice job. So I'm going to use my formula. T equals 2 pi divided by the B. And what's my B? 6. And what is 2 pi divided by 6?
3 pi.
3 pi or pi over 3? Pi over 3.
Oh, so we don't like divide it by this.
You do, but look at the fraction. Is it top heavy or bottom heavy? Bottom heavy. So where do I want my answer to be at? On the bottom. If the 6 was on top, then I'd want the 3 to be on top. Okay, so we did a lot of that yesterday. How do you feel about that? Okay? All right. So if you'll look at these other questions, all the other questions have to do with sine and cosine. And do we have all of those graphs that we graphed on that other worksheet? Can I use these pictures to answer my questions? So let's pick one. Let's go look at 13. 13 says, what is the largest value of y equals sine x? So here's my picture of y equals sine x. What is the largest value in there?
1.
1. The answer is 1. For 13, go put 1. Because that's as tall as it gets. It only goes up to 1. If you can read a graph, you can answer those questions. So let's go do one that has cosine in it so that we can do one of those. Let's go look at number 16. 16 says, for what numbers x between 0 and 2 pi does cosine equal 0? So here's my cosine picture. And I want to know between 0 and 2 pi, how many times did I touch the x?
2.
And where at? What is this x? What number is that right there?
Pi over 2.
Pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Those are your answers. It occurs at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. So I'm touching the x equals 0 line at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. So that's how you do section 3 through 18. We'll come back to 19 and 20 if we have time at the end. Turn page. Let's go look at 37 through 46. On 37 through 46, these are the ones I told you last night you could go do if you wanted to go ahead and start doing some of it. They want you to find the amplitude, which is my A. They want me to find my period, which is my T. So I'm doing the same thing we did on the front of the worksheet with an equation. So if you had to pick one, which one would you pick for me to do?
37.
30 what?
37.
Are you sure?
39.
Y'all would really pick 39 and 37?
46.
Now, why would you want to pick 46 or 43?
Because fractions.
Because they're fractions. I don't care. Which one you want to see?
So do
43.
Okay. I think I heard 46 more, but I did hear 43. But if we can do 46, can you agree that we can also do 43? Yes, they're the same thing. All right, so on 46, let's go label. This is A, and this is B. I don't have an H. I don't have a K. So they want me to find the amplitude. Well, we just labeled it. What's the amplitude? 9 over 5. Perfect. Done. Now, you have to take a moment and think. Is the B negative 3 pi over 2, or is the B 3 pi over 2?
3 pi over 2.
Why?
Because left or right.
Because,
Oh wait, no. It's
it can be negative.
Why can't frequency be negative?
Oh, because it's frequency.
Because you're counting the number of curves
Yeah.
between 0 and 2 pi.
Yeah, there's
Can you have negative curves between 0 and 2 pi?
No.
No. So even though there's a negative there, we're going to kind of ignore it, just like we do with amplitude. It just tells me my graph is going to flip over the y. I'm not asking to graph it, so it doesn't matter. I just want to know what is the period. So we're going to go use our formula. T equals 2 pi divided by, I'm going to ignore the negative, 3 pi over 2. Dividing fractions is easy as pi. You flip the second and multiply.
6 pi.
So 2 pi times, if I flip 3 pi over 2, I get 2 over 3 pi. So I need to put the 2 pi over 1. What's top times top?
4 pi.
4 pi. What's bottom times bottom? 3 pi. What happens to my pi's? So what is my T? 4 over 3. Okay. You multiplied like this.
No, I didn't know. I think I flipped the bottom fraction. I flipped the denominator. The denominator.
Oh, you flipped this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let me let you try 43 since you think you can't do it. So try 43, and then we'll check it. So I'll pause the video. Okay, did you get it right?
Pi over 3.
The amplitude is positive 1/2, because what can amplitude not be? Negative. But my period is 4 pi over 3. So let's talk about it again. Remember, it's 2 pi divided by the b. My b is 3 over what?
Let's do that again.
3 over 2. So I take 3 over 2, I'm going to flip it, and I get 2 over what?
Oh, you flip it.
3. You got to flip it. Top times top is 4 pi. Bottom times bottom is 3. It's 4 pi over 3.
I did it right. I didn't
I
flip
keep
it. So
doing
I
that
got
bottom
3.
fraction.
We are flipping the bottom fraction.
But like, I don't put it with the 2 pi. I do like, so I put,
So you're flipping,
I don't
you're doing
know
3
what
over
I
2
did.
pi?
Yes.
Okay, don't do that. Alright, I think you can do 37, 39, and 41 because there's no fractions. So y'all can be okay with that? Alright, so now we're going to go do some graphing stuff. So we're going to go look at 29. On 29, before we start graphing any transformations, the first thing we need to remember is the pattern. It's sine. So what pattern does sine have? Is it A mama or mama M?
Hey, mama.
A mama. And I'm going to go write it here just so you can see it. A mama. Remember, the A stands for axis, maximum, axis, minimum, axis. Then over to the side, I'm going to go write down everything I know. I know the amplitude. I know the axis of wave. I know if there's a horizontal shift. And I know what the period is. So let's go talk about how does Miss L know all this stuff? That's right. So A is the number in front of the word. So what is my amplitude? 1. Beautiful. K is whatever you add or subtract. I like that. What did you say, Daniel?
0.
I'm not adding or subtracting anything, so it's 0. H is whatever you add or subtract in the parentheses. Am I adding or subtracting this pi?
No.
No. So guess what it doesn't have? No phase shift. It's not going to go left or right at all. T, where is T in this equation?
You gotta find T.
You got to find it. Very good. T pi, 2 pi. 2 pi divided by B.
If you could do the same calculator, it would show you the graph.
When we get there.
Pi over pi,
So it's 2 pi over what?
pi.
Pi. So what is my period?
That's 2.
2. Period's 2. Beautiful. All right. So let's review from yesterday. The period, the T, is going to tell you how long to make your graph. The A and the K is going to tell you how tall to make your graph.
Well, it's not that tall. So
No, it's not going to be that tall. Very good. So when I go graph it, my x-axis is going to be how long?
2.
2. And it always is going to start at 0 for now. So we're going to go from 0 to 2. And I told you yesterday I want you to half it, half it, half it. So what's half of 2? 1. What's half of 1? Or 1/2. So in between 1 and 2, not 3/4,
3 over 2.
3/2. Here we go. Now if you wanted to put 0.5 and 1.5, it's not wrong. I just like fractions and I want you to get used to them. The K tells me where I'm going to start on the Y, so I'm going to have a 0. The A tells me how high to go above it and how far to go below it. So how high do I want to go above 0?
1.
And how far below?
Negative 1.
Okay, so I'm going to go up, positive 1, and I'm going to go down, negative 1. T tells you how long to make your graph left and right. A and K together tell me how tall to make it. Now I'm going to go follow my pattern. It is a positive sign. All signs start on what axis?
Oh.
On the axis of wave, the K. We always start on our axis of wave. Because it's a positive, am I going to go up or down?
Up.
Up. Maximum, axis, minimum, axis. You have now graphed y equals sine pi x between 0 and 2. You are done.
Do we have to go the other way too? Like, yeah.
Not yet. We're going to do one thing at a time. All right, let's go check out 36. Let's go look at 36. So on 36, the first thing I did is I changed it from sine to what?
Cosine.
Cosine.
Mama
Mama what?
Well,
Mama what?
A.
Mama M.
Oh.
Remember, you always end where you begin.
Oh,
MM.
Mama A.
That's
I
okay.
really get it.
Okay. And then over here to the side, let's go do our A, H, K, and T again. I'm going to write them down. I can't make you do this. I can just strongly encourage you to do it. Some of y'all can do it in your head, and that's fine. So which of these numbers is my A?
3.
3.
Good.
Negative. Oh, no.
Ooh. Okay. What's my K?
2.
There's no-
Negative 2.
This time it is a negative 2. Your K can be negative. That just tells you if you're going up or down. So I'm obviously going which way?
It's going down.
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 Now, am I adding or subtracting anything in parentheses?
No.
So there's no horizontal shift. In fact, there's no horizontal shift on this whole page. Okay? We'll do those after the assessment because they're not on the assessment and I don't want to confuse you. All right? Now I got to go find T. What's my T going to be?
2 pi.
Why is it 2 pi?
Because in front of X is just 1.
Very good. Because it's really 2 pi over 1 because right here, just like Daniel said, just like you said, there's a 1 in front of the X and 2 pi divided by 1 is 2 pi. All right, so let's go make our x-axis. How long should the x be? 2 pi. So 0 to 2 pi. Half it, half it, half it. These have to be labeled. You can't leave them blank. And that was not right. That should be 3 pi.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
When do you know when you use pi or just regular numbers?
That's a great question. On 29, what did my pi's do?
Cancel out.
They canceled. Did they cancel here? That's why. Good question. Okay, now we're going to do the y-axis. This is where I lose some people. So when you graph your y-axis, what k value has to be on there?
3.
Which one do I graph first?
You gotta graph the -2.
Okay, so go to -2. And this is when we draw that dashed line. That is going to be my axis of wave. So instead of graphing like we did right here on the x-axis, I'm going to graph on this dashed axis. This is my axis of wave. And I want to be how tall above it,
3.
and how far below it.
-2.
How far below it?
3.
3. I'm going to go 3 above it, 3 below it. So what is 3 above -2?
Like
Like 1. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go 3 below. 1, 2, 3. Where does that put me at?
5.
Very good, -5. So my maximum in the graph is 1. My minimum when I graph is -5. This is cosine. Does cosine start at the maximum, the axis, or the minimum? What'd y'all say? Where does cosine normally start? At the maximum. Okay, but I think I heard someone say minimum. Why did they say minimum?
Negative.
It's a negative. So instead of starting at the max like normal, we're going to start at the what?
Negative.
The negatives. We're all going to start at -5. We're going to start at the minimum because my graph is flipping. So when you see this negative right here, this is when you flip your maximum and your minimums.
So we're going back.
Yes. We're going to start at -5, hit the axis, to the maximum, to the axis, back to the minimum. It is an upside down sine curve between 0 and 2 pi. What questions can I answer for you? Okay, so let's go do another one that kind of does a lot of stuff. Let's go look at 67. So everybody go look at 67. On 67, what pattern am I doing? Mama M or A mama?
A mama.
A mama, it's a sign. So right above it, I'm going to write my pattern so I don't forget it. Remember, this is not required. It just helps some of y'all. And then to the side, we're going to go do our A, our K, our H, and our T again. What's my A?
4.
What's my A? 4. What's my K? 0. Yay. What's my H?
X. 0.
Am I adding or subtracting anything in here?
Oh, there's nothing.
Nope,
Okay.
nothing.
I forgot you said
That's okay. And then we're going to do our period. Our period is 2 pi divided by b. My b is 1/2. Oh, and he's not here to practice. Dividing fractions is easy as pi. We flip the second and what? So 2 pi times, if I flip 1 over 2, it changes to 2 over 1. So what does my period end up being?
4 pi.
4 pi. Okay, so I'm going to make my x-axis go from 0 all the way to 4 pi. I'm going to half it, and I get 2 pi's. Half of 2 pi is 1 pi. So what's going to be between 2 and 3? I mean 2 and 4?
3.
3 pi. And why do these have pi's? Because my pi's did not what? They didn't cancel out, so they're there. Okay, when I go do the y-axis, my k value is 0. I'm going to go how many above it? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many below it?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then we're going to follow our sign pattern except for one thing. What kind of sign is it? Negative. So my two m's do what?
Split. So
They
it's gonna have a
switch.
bottom
So you're going to start at the axis, but then go where next?
plate.
The minimum. Very good. So because of this negative, and you might want to make a note for yourself, these two flip. I'm going to start at the axis, go down to the minimum, back to the axis, up to the max, back to the axis. This is the curve of negative 4 sine 1/2 x between 0 and 4 pi. What questions can I answer? Feeling good? All right, let's go backwards. Turn your paper. Turn the page. So back here, I give you a bunch of graphs and a bunch of equations. All you have to do is play the matching game. So which one would you like me to do with you? I do a different one every class period.
40, I mean, 52, I guess?
You like 52?
Oh, I said the answer.
I'll do 52. All right, so let's go look at 52. So on 52, the very first thing I do for myself is I write down my A, if I have one. Do I have an A?
2,
2. Is there an H or a K?
no,
No. And then I find my period. So we're going to do 2 pi divided by 1/2.
you have to multiply.
And so when you multiply, you get what?
4 pi.
4 pi. Okay, so this is probably enough information to pick the right picture. I know it's going to be a what kind of curve? Sine.
Oh, sorry.
And sine always starts where at?
Yeah.
The axis. That means I'm looking for a graph that starts at 0, 0. It's a positive sign, and it's going to go up how many?
2,
2. So I'm looking for a graph that starts at 0, 0, goes up to 2, back to the axis, down to negative 2, and back to the axis. And how long will it take me to do that?
2.
How long will it take me to complete that one cycle?
4
24. 4 pi. Okay, so let's go look at our graphs. Do I have any graphs that start at the 0 and go directly up to 2? Let's see. Does A do it? Does A start at 0? Does B start at 0?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it hits the maximum. It goes back to the axis, down to negative 2, and back to the axis. That is one A mama. That is one sine. How long did it take me to do one sine? 4 what? 4 pi. Is that what it's supposed to take? So what graph goes with 52? B. Go pick another one, but this time pick a cosine one, so I can do one of each. Do y'all like 53? It's really similar to 52.
Let's do 48.
Let's do 54. That way we are going to see something different.
Okay.
Okay, so 54. First we're going to do our A. My A is negative what? I'm sorry. Ooh, I did it. What's my A? 2. We're going to go find our T because H and K are both 0. So 2 pi divided by pi over 2.
Multiply.
I'm going to flip it
So it's 4 pi.
and multiply. Is it 4 pi?
It's 4.
Ah, because what happens to my pi's? They're going to cancel. So this time when you complete a whole A mama, the A mama is going to end at what? I mean, not A mama, your mama M because we're doing cosine. Your whole cosine is going to end at how many?
4.
4. So before you start looking for a picture, this is a what kind of cosine? A negative. So does a negative cosine start at the max, the axis, or the minimum? So you are looking for a graph that touches at 0, negative 2. How many graphs touch at 0, negative 2?
G. I mean, there's 2.
There's 2 of them. Which 2?
C and D.
Okay, so let's go look at C and let's go look at G. We're going to look at them at the same time. All right, so both of these are a negative cosine. They both go to the axis next. Then they both go to the max. They both hit the axis again. And then they both go down to the minimum again. What is the difference between these two graphs?
One of them is pi.
That's right. One of them has a period of 4, and the other one has a period of 4 pi. Do I want 4 pi or 4?
4.
4. So which is the correct answer for 54? G. You will only use each of these one time. So once you've used it, can you mark them out? Okay. What questions can I answer on your homework? When is it due?
Thursday.
It's not due till Thursday. Will you be able to ask me questions tomorrow before the assessment? Yes. I'm even going to let you ask me some questions on Thursday before you turn it in so that you have another day to ask me questions. How can I help you? Okay, it is not pack up time. Do we still have time to work right now?